The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. At that time, when Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" And they said, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But who do you say I am?" Simon Peter replied, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus answered him, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." The Gospel of the Lord. On the occasion of this feast of St. Peter and St. Paul, many priests have been ordained, and quite a large number by Pope Leo XIV in Rome. It was beautiful to see that, to see those that were ordained coming from all over the world. I think it's a grace of today. You see, in his homily, the Pope insisted about the difference of character in between Peter and Paul. There were even a moment in their lives where they were angry one against the other, but unity prevailed. Unity comes from Christ. It's true that I've known a time where you would go throughout all the words, and the liturgy was almost the same in the Latin word, not in the Greek word, but in the Latin word. The Vatican II Council and the reform that followed the Vatican II Council allowed for a larger diversity, not in what is the core of the Mass, but for all the liturgy itself. Actually, if you come to this parish and you go to the early Mass on Sunday, or to the 10 o'clock or the 12 o'clock, or the Mass before on Saturday evening, and now, you will see quite a diversity. This diversity is to be able to open our hand as much as possible to different feelings, different way, but of course it leads to one mystery, and that mystery is the Eucharist, and the Eucharist requires from you, from all the different, those that attend church masses, silent and adoration. You see, the Mass that is celebrated in a cathedral and a Mass which is celebrated in a Carmel, it's the same Mass. The liturgy may be different, but it's the same mystery. And the most important part of the Mass is, of course, the consecration, with the very words that Jesus said on Maundy Thursday. And it requires silence. Liturgy has no other meaning than to lead to adoration, than to lead to silence. You can't stop at the liturgy. When you see quarrel on the liturgy, it's because those that quarrel don't understand that. that the most important moment of Mass is not the liturgy. It is when Jesus is present on the altar and when we receive Jesus in our heart. And normally we have a moment of silence which is asked in the Roman Missal. Normally there are 3 moments of silence during the Mass. It's always important to remember that. And of course, as Pope Leo XIV said in his homily, to have the sense of the unity of the Church. Otherwise, we won't. Jesus wants this unity. And normally we are disciples of Jesus. We are not disciples of this or that liturgy. We are disciples of Jesus. That's what is important. And the priests that were ordained, they are going to bring that to the full word, and it's beautiful. And today here we've got the joy that Jasminka is going to be associated in a very special way to the mystery of the Eucharist, because she will be an extraordinary minister. Extraordinary means that it's related to the priest and the deacon. But she will give communion to you, to the parishioners. She will also go and visit the sick and bring Jesus to the sick. It's a very beautiful ministry. What is the most important is your silent prayer, is your contemplative prayer. It's a silent prayer. And the more you have this interiority in you, the better you will be able to accomplish this ministry. So now we are going to pray for Jasminka, and I'm going to give her and send her in this very special ministry. At first we stay sitting, and at a given time I will ask you to stand, and there will be the formal blessing. Amen.